Hello and welcome to Cruise 118. I'm John Cooper.
And I'm Karen Worrall.
And today we're going to be taking you to the fascinating part of Northern Europe.
Hi allesammans, welcome. Yes, we're taking you to one of the most striking natural cruise itineraries in the world, the Norwegian Fjords. Now, I worked on cruise ships for 15 years and was lucky enough to spend 3 seasons in beautiful Norway. So I'm going to give you my first-hand tips on the breathtaking ports in Norway of Stavanger, Bergen, Ålesund, Flam, Skjolden, Olden, and Norway's beautiful and cultural capital of Oslo.
And we've got 3 fantastic cruise deals for you today too, with cruises from 3 different cruise lines that are fantastic for sailing Norway with. These are offers from Celebrity Cruises, Princess Cruises and Royal Caribbean.
And Norway is a stunning country that is perfect to see by ship. It has unforgettable landscapes formed in the last ice age and has the second longest coastline in the world after Canada of 63,000 miles, which would circle the world 2.5 times if it was stretched out. And it has more than 239,000 islands. The gorgeous scenery along this coastline, the islands, the many deep scenic fjords surrounded by tall, rugged mountains, verdant forests, and the tiny villages at the end of the beautiful fjords, and the cultural and beautiful cities make it popular with millions of visitors every year. Now, there are a lot of wonderful ports in Norway to visit, so let's take a look at some of the ones that are most visited by cruise ships. We're going to start in the elegant city of Stavanger, so let's take a look. Stavanger is the 4th largest city in Norway and is also the oil capital of the country. It was founded in 1125, so it has almost 900 years of history in it. It has a lot of appeal from the culture, the rich Nordic history. It's located very close to natural wonders, including the nearby Lyse Fjord as well. And this is where Pulpit Rock is located, which is one of Norway's most famous sites. You can reach it by hiking the trail that leads almost 2,000 feet up to the spectacular plateau that looks over the whole fjord from here. And from there you can admire the mountain peaks and the blue waters of the fjords below. Now you can get up close to that scenery from the water too by taking a boat trip out on the water itself. Now the water here is as deep as the mountains surrounding it are tall, which gives an almost mystical air to the area. Now, Stavanger town is a lovely place to visit as well. It has a lot to offer. One of the main sites is the Anglo-Norman style Stavanger Cathedral, which was built in the 1100s when the town was formed. Now, Old Stavanger, called Gamle Stavanger, is Europe's largest collection of wooden houses. Now, the 8,000 white timber houses were built in the 18th century. This is them here. You can head out to the monument of the 3 swords as well, which symbolize peace, unity and freedom. And these pay tribute to Norway's first king, Harald Fairhair. Now, my top tips are go to see Gamle Stavanger. It's just a few minutes walk from where your ship docks. It's free to walk around and it's really lovely. And the residents are very proud of their meticulous gardens with beautiful flowers. And there's even one of the houses open for the public to see. You saw it on the video there. So you can see what they were like back when they were built. And it's also free to visit. Now, also in the Gamle Stavanger area is the Norwegian Canning Museum. Canning herring helped Norway and other countries get through the world wars, having canned food to eat, and established Stavanger and Norway as a major fish provider. Now, the Canning Museum shows what the process was like from start to finish, and you can even have a go at canning your own plastic herring. It's interactive and it's quite fun as well. Now, another museum which might not sound incredibly interesting, but actually it really is the Norwegian Petroleum Museum. And it tells about Norway's history in the oil industry and how its discovery made Norway go from one of the poorest countries in Europe to the richest. It has interactive displays about oil rigs, the equipment used, training needed, and how oil is harvested and treated. And it's actually fun for all the family. And you like that museum too, don't you, John?
I do love those museums. And as you say, you wouldn't expect a canning museum and a petroleum museum to be exciting, but they're great, especially when you can your own fish. That's one present done. It is, isn't it? You get, and the great thing about those places in Norway is the kids go in free. I mean, so the adults have to pay, but in all museums in all of Norway, children under the age of 16 are completely free of charge.
And you love Stavanger, don't you? Any more tips?
Yeah, I mean, say it's a great place just to wander around and take in, as you say. And there's also lots of little craft shops where you can, get little gifts and stuff like that. I just like to wander around and take it all in. take the atmosphere in. And the ship docks right in the centre of town as well.
It's a beautiful town. Well, I think that's a good time to have our first deal. What do you think, John?
Do you know what? I think you're right. And our first deal today is going to be with Celebrity Cruises. We're going to take you on a 7-night cruise on the 24th of June next year on the Celebrity Silhouette. Now, this one has a great price and it's departing from Southampton. So it's so convenient as there's no flying, taking more or less as much luggage as you like. It really is amazing. I'll tell you what, let's have a look at what you can expect on board.
So this is a beautiful ship. We're going to take a look at some of the food that you can have on board. Now, Celebrity is well known for its food. You've got the main dining room here, which is gorgeous. You can see all of the food here. There's an international menu that changes daily, so that's excellent to check out. You can have something different every single day. We've got Blue, which is the restaurant for the concierge class guests as well, which has a little bit of a different menu too. And then we've got the Ocean View Cafe, which is the buffet area. This is open for all meals and changing menus. This one's a good one to go with all the family, especially if you have picky eaters, because there's a huge variety to choose from. Or if you're in a rush, it's a great place to stop as well. Or if you want to have a little bite of pizza. Now on those sea days, if you want to sit out by the pool, the Mass Grill is a nice place to go and just grab a quick bite. You can get burgers, hot dogs, nice little snacky favorites like that. Cafe Al Baccio and Gelateria is a lovely little cafe, Italian style. You get a really good coffee there. And Cafe Al Baccio, Baccio in Italian means kiss. So go with your loved one and have a little bit of ice cream and a nice little snack if you want. Now, if you want to go on the healthier side of things, head over to the Spa Cafe. You get smoothies, there's raw food there, lots of fruit, lots of veggies if you want to keep an eye on that as well while you're on board. Now, the specialty dining is fantastic on board as well on the Celebrity Silhouette. We've got the Lawn Club Grill, which is a sort of casual eatery. It's got a kind of country club vibe to it, and you can also get whatever you want cooked right there on the grill in front of you, so all fresh, all tasty. And Le Petit Chef at Cuisine, this is a very different experience. As well as wonderful food, you've actually got you have these animations that are on your plate, which that shows you this little animated chef making your food for you, while the real chef makes your food for you back in the kitchen. It's lots of fun and delicious.
It really is. Well, let's look at the details on this one. First of all, we're going to cruise you out of Southampton, and after a day at sea, we end up in Bergen, which is absolutely gorgeous. We're going to tell you more about Bergen in a few moments' time, so stay around for that one. And then, after a day there, we're off to Ailsand. I mean, the cruising in and out of these places is an amazing. And a top tip, for your evening meal, make sure you get a table by the window, because the views as you cruise through places like this are incredible. Then we're off to Olden. Once again, we're going to tell you more about Olden in a few moments' time. So you're going to see what we've got to offer there. And then we're in to Stavanger. I mean, say, look at the cruise in and out of Stavanger. And, you know, there's so much to do with the factories and the museums in there that we were telling you about there. It's an amazing, amazing cruise. So, and then we're back into Southampton, obviously. So let's have a look at the details so we can get you involved in this one. You know, with Celebrity, it's 5-star modern luxury. And that's what you get. It's the 5-star feel to everything. You're really going to enjoy it. So what I would say is, if you want it, get in touch with us now, 0808 2585 118, or go to cruise118.com/TV, and you can book it there and then, right now, online. And why wouldn't you want to do that? With a cruise like this, it's just waiting for you.
Well, that was a great deal and itinerary, John. A lovely one. Now, another great thing about cruising to Norway is the price. Now, Norway is very expensive, and if you go there on your own, you will pay a lot for accommodation and all your meals. But on a cruise, all of that is included, so you only actually spend what you want to when you're out and about in port. So it's actually quite good. Now, talking about ports, let's take a look at another Norwegian port. And this time we're going to have a look at Bergen. Now, Bergen is a fantastic city. It lies in the heart of Norway's fjords, right by nature, and it's full of interesting things to see. Now, Bergen is the UNESCO World Heritage Site made up of many picturesque wooden buildings, and it's in the area near the harbour and is the city's most recognised landmark. Now, the area still looks much like it did in the 12th century when it was built, and it shows the area's rich trading history. So wander around the area and see the shops with locally made produce and products, galleries with local art and restaurants with local food while enjoying the views. Now, between Briggen and where your ship docks is the famous Bergen fish market. It dates back to the 13th century and is the place to sample local seafood. You can admire, take photos of, and even grab a local lunch of some seafood like mussels, lobster, crabs, scallops, whatever the catch of the day is, and there's even caviar at these little family-run stalls. Now, another wonderful place to visit is Magic Ice. This is an ice bar where the bar, sculptures and entire interior are made out of ice. So if you go, wear a jacket. Now, one of my top picks of things to do in Bergen is to take the funicular cable car from near where the cruise stops up Mount Fløyen. Now, it's a relaxed ride up and it gives you incredible views of the city and the surrounding mountains and fjords. There are hikes and woodland trails that take you around the forest, which are perfect if you want to connect with Norwegian nature and get out of the town into the trees. Now, my tip for you there is Bergen is a lovely city. The city itself is very cosmopolitan and offers some of the best shopping in Norway if you want to shop. Bergen is my favourite area for souvenirs as it has all local shops and produce as well as things in the fish market too. Now, I would definitely head to the fish market if you like fish at all. Sample the local fishes. There are tasters on most stalls and you can choose your favourite to have for lunch if you want. And then you can head up on the funicular to Mount Fløyen if you like the views, and you can go on these lovely nature trails. So it's very nice.
Yeah, I love Bergen too. I've been many, many times.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? What's your favourite thing to do there?
Do you know what? I've done quite a few things. The rib ride, you can go out on a boat. It takes you right out into the fjords. It's really, exhilarating, and it's fabulous. It's not one of those things that you don't get to do every day. And also up Mount Fløyen as well. That funicular railway is fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Yes, sounds good. Okay, we're going to move on to our next port of Ålesund. Now, let's take a look. Now, Ålesund is one of the prettiest towns in Norway. It is near the gorgeous Norwegian Fjord, and the town is spread out over 7 islets and is known for its colourful waterfront houses that dot the town's canals. These buildings give Ålesund its distinctive look as they are designed in an Art Nouveau style called Jungestil. Now, you can hike up the hill to the Askla viewpoint where you can have incredible views of the whole city here, or take a guided walking tour of the city and learn about its past, including how the huge fire in 1904 destroyed much of the city, which is why today so much of it is in the Art Nouveau style. Now, the Sunmore Open Air Museum is really interesting. It has one of the world's largest collections of historic homes with turf roofs and preserved Norwegian boats. Now, if you want to get out of the city, the Atlantic Ocean Park is another great place to see. It has many types of fish to see, and you can learn more about the marine life in the seas off the coast of Norway, as well as see tanks with species from around the world. And it's one of the largest saltwater aquariums in Europe. And they even have a penguin enclosure outside and a large pool for them so you can meet the adorable Humboldt penguins. They are so cute, I love them. Now, my tip for you here in Ålesund is that I really enjoy walking tours. I love going around the town and learning all about the character, the history of the place, and the people, and hearing about the stories of it. So my favourite thing to do in Ålesund is to go on a walking tour. They will show you the now distinctive Art Nouveau buildings, which is unique in the area, built out of necessity after the fire in 1904. And there are a few other buildings left from before, and your guide will point these out too. Now, I really like the aquarium as it has some great local fish in it, including the deep cold water wolffish, and the penguin habitat is fascinating too. I mean, who doesn't love penguins?
Oh, I think that's great. It's a good, and those penguins are fantastic. I've seen them a few times. It's a good time for our next deal. This one is with Princess Cruises on the Sky Princess. It's a 7-night sailing on the 12th of August next year. So let's take a look at the ship.
So this is the Sky Princess. It was designed for innovation and luxury. It's the newest addition to the Princess Cruises fleet, and it came out in October 2019. It has over 25 bars and restaurants with master mixologist Rob Floyd, and restaurants like French Bistro La Mer, which has seafood, with the Michelin star chef Emmanuel Renaud. There's Sabatini's Italian Trattoria as well, that's my favourite, I think. I love Italian food. And then we've also got the Crown Grill Steakhouse and bar as well. And this is where you can get some fantastic steaks there as well. So lots to see there. So you can have a drink in the Crown Grill bar before you head on in. Now the Chef's Table Lumiere is the place to go if you're having a really special evening. That's a fantastic thing to do. And then also Alfredo's Pizzeria has some of the best pizza at sea, and so check that out if you do like pizza. And then you've also got the Fresh Marketplace, where you've got the buffet style food, lots of different options day and night. And now if you want to relax, go to the spa or out to the sanctuary area. It's got more private cabanas than ever. There's a couple's villa. There's so many things to do there. It's just very relaxing. You can decide to go for a treatment if you want. You can go into the enclave, which is my favorite part. Just soak your troubles away in the beautiful bubbles there and relax. There's also the top deck pools, are great for all ages. You go have a swim and then just relax in the hot tubs as well if you like. And we've also got the retreat pool for the retreat guests, and there is the Wakeview pool as well. And you can walk along the iconic sea walk if you feel like you want to look down and see the sea right beneath you. It's a gorgeous ship.
Yeah, what I like about them as well is it's a room service 24 hours a day. You can, if you fancy a pizza at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can have one. Right, now let's see where we'll be sailing. You'll be conveniently joining the ship in the UK at Southampton. So take more or less as much luggage as you like. Then we're off to Hungernsand, which is absolutely gorgeous. Going to tell you more about that in a few moments' time. And then we're off to Sheolden. Once again, the cruises in and out of these, it's the destinations that you're going to, and you'll see some fantastic sites on your way in and on your way out. Oldham next. Once again, Oldham itself is not very big, but there's lots of things to do from there. We'll tell you about that in a few minutes' time. Then Bergen. Well, we've just been telling you about Bergen. What a fantastic place that is. And, once again, Mount Fluden, the fish market, you've got to do all that. And then we're back into Southampton, which, great deal. Let's have a look at the details on this one so we can get you involved, shall we? So it's on the Sky Princess, which is a lovely ship. Now, with Princess Cruises, they say you'll always come back new. And you will. And, there's so much included in this cruise as well. And if you want to upgrade, talk to our staff. If you want to upgrade to have your drinks and your tips and your Wi-Fi included, just talk to our staff. We can arrange for that for you. And it's a great deal. It really is. What you do is you give us a call, 0808 2585 118, or go to the website cruise118.com/TV. We can actually book it live online there too. Well, where are we off to next?
Well, next, John, we are going to go to my favourite port in Norway, which is Flum. Now, Flum has some of the most genuinely breathtaking scenery in Norway. It's a small village located on Norwegian Fjords and is surrounded by beautiful mountains, forests with waterfalls, pretty meadows, and it's the perfect place if you want to see some natural beauty. Now, one of the best things to do in Flum is to take a trip on the Flumsbanna Railway. Now, you take a round trip from the Flum station, which is actually very close to where your ship docks, all the way up through the mountains to Myrdal and back again. And it's known as one of the most beautiful train journeys in the world. The train trip takes you up 2,800 feet, so you have the best views of the rivers, waterfalls and mountains around you. Now, to see the fjord Flum is located in up close, you can sail down on Fjord, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is a very scenic fjord. Now, you will pass snow-topped mountains, even in summer, green cliffs and farms and villages which are down dotted along beside the water. Now, to get one of the best views in all of Norway, head up to the Stegastien viewpoint, a curved platform that sticks out almost 100 feet off the mountain. Now, from here you'll be suspended more than 2,000 feet above Norwegian Fjord. So it's really stunning. Now, my tip for Flum, it's a very tiny little village. There's not a whole lot to do in the village, so you have a walk around, it's lovely, and take a tour. My favorite tour is the Flumsbanna Railway trip. It is wonderful. Now, my tip for you is if you do this, try to sit on the left side of the train on your way up if you can, because, tiny spoiler alert, halfway up there the train stops by the huge Kjosfossen waterfall, and you'll have a few minutes to stop here and go out and photograph it, and there might be a special visitor there. Now, the Huldra is an elusive spirit from Norse mythology, and it's said that a long-haired woman with a red dress visits the area singing, so she might be there, so have your camera ready.
I really love Flum too. It's a great place. And my top tip is if you want to go on that Flum Railway, and I tell you what, as soon as you get on board the ship or when the excursions become available, book it, because it books up very quickly.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it by yourself, because it is very close to where the ship pulls in, book it online a couple of months out. That's the best way to do it. Yeah, and then you've got your ticket, so you just turn up at the station, there's my ticket, I'm going. And so that's my top tip for that.
Yeah, definitely. Book it early. Whoever you book it with, book it early. Okay, so next up, we're going to take a look at another port. We're going to go to the picturesque town at the end of a long fjord of the same name, Geiranger. Now, Geiranger Fjord is the country's most famous fjord. The tiny village of Geiranger is located at the end of the fjord and is charming to stroll around, and it's a great point to take shore excursions from to explore the area more from. Now, if you like some adventure, take a kayak tour to paddle out around the waters of the fjord, or you can go out on a rigid inflatable boat, a rib boat, like John was saying he likes going on. They're so good. And on one of these, your guide will take you along the entire length of the huge fjord. It's really fun, and you'll see all the scenery from right there in the water. And you will love seeing all the waterfalls. You'll take hundreds of pictures of them. Now, more wonderful views are seen from driving up the winding road to Eagle's Bend viewpoint, you can go further up to 4,500 feet to the top of Mount Dalsnibba to reach the highest fjord viewpoint in all of Europe. Now here, the Geiranger Fjord Centre teaches you a lot about West Norwegian fjords and what people's lifestyles have been like there from the past to the present day. And you can even see your ship nestled in the distance from there, which is really cool. Now, while you're traveling around the area, you can see mountain goat farms that are still run in the old-fashioned way. So my top tips for you. This is a great port to take an excursion in, and then you can see a lot more of the area. Now, I'd recommend choosing one that includes stops at Eagle's Bend Viewpoint and Mount Dalsnibba. Now, I went up here and it even had snow in June. I made a tiny little snowman there in June. It was crazy. It was lots of fun though, and it's great to see life being lived in traditional ways still at the goat farms today, so it's wonderful.
Yeah, do you know what? I loved it. I must admit, on the bus going up to that viewpoint, yeah, I'm not one for heights.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's some. Right, where are we off to next?
Well, next up, we're going to look at the tiny villages of Skjolden and Olden. Let's take a look. So Skjolden is another beautiful tiny village located at the end of the longest and deepest fjord in the world, Sognefjord. Now, take a stroll through the village, and then one of the best ways to experience it is to hike through the valleys of the area, where you'll see small lakes, waterfalls, and pretty plants and flowers. Now, in the port of Olden, you can see Olden and other colourful coastal villages, which are tucked in the shadows of the towering mountains. Now, taking a boat trip here is a great way to sail along the sparkling waters of the area or hike along the well-signposted paths to reach Briksdal Glacier, Europe's most famous glacier. So you can see them here, not just in Alaska. Now, you can ride the troll car up the mountainside beside the shimmering blue walls of ice, the waterfalls and the crystal clear lakes, which are perfect for taking photographs from. So this is a stunning way to see the area. It is just gorgeous here. It is really amazing to get up close to a glacier in Europe, very close by to us. So my top tip here is to go out and walk into nature in both Skjolden and Olden. So Skjolden has lovely flora and fauna around to see, and in Olden, heading out to see the Briksdal Glacier is fantastic. You get up close to a glacier in Europe, not far from home, which is really something special to see.
Yeah, it looks lovely. And when you've been up the Briksdal Glacier, when you get down, you get like, there's a cafe there, isn't there? And you get lovely coffee and the cakes. Well, you know me, I'm not one for cakes. Well,
And the Norwegian waffles too.
yeah, no calories, no calories. It all looked lovely, and I think that's a good time for our final deal of the show. So next up, we're going on the wonderful Anthem of the Seas with a no-fly cruise again. Very conveniently sailing from Southampton, so more or less take as much luggage as you like. We're going around the beautiful Norwegian fjords on a 7-night cruise, leaving on the 16th of June next year. So let's have a look at the ship, shall we?
So we're looking at the Anthem of the Seas here. It is a gorgeous ship, and this ship has so much to see and do on it. It is really an adventure in itself. Now, some of the highlights of the activities, we have got Ripcord by iFly. You've got the North Star, which takes you up above the ship. We've got the Bionic Bar, powered by Maker Shaker. So robots called Shaken and Stirred make your cocktails for you. We've got wonderful entertainment venues. We've got the 270 Lounge. There's so much to do here. We've got the Flow Rider, if you're feeling like you want to go surfing or just go watch your family do it. That's what I would do. I'd take the pictures. Food-wise, you've got excellent restaurants, including Chops Grill. You've got the Solarium if you want to relax. You've got the Schooner Bar if you want a little bit of piano music. There's so much to see here. It's really a beautiful ship. So let's take a closer look at some of the events here. We've got iFly by Ripcord here. Some of the entertainment. This is if you want to head out and try your hand at surfing, or head up on the North Star that takes you up above. This is Shaken and Stirred, your robot shaker robots. They will get your cocktails ready for you. And then there's wonderful shows, including We Will Rock You, are on in the main theatre. So they are fantastic to see.
Well, we do like the Anthem of the Seas here at Cruise 118, so you'll be joining the ship conveniently outside Southampton, so you can bring all the luggage you like to sail with. So we're going to cruise out of Southampton, going to have a day at sea, and then we're into Bergen. Once again, so much to see and do, and you know what, just to wander around and take in the atmosphere. It really is a lovely town. And the funicular railway. Then we're into Oldham. Well, we've just told you all about that. And the cruise in and out, as I say, top tip. Get a table by the window for your evening meal. It's absolutely wonderful. Then we're off to Melle in Norway. Once again, not a very big town, but well worth a visit. And you know, it's gorgeous. Then to Kristiansand. Do you know what? I love this. They have a little tourist train that takes you right into the heart of the town centre through people's back gardens. It's great. And then we're back into Southampton. So let's have a look at the details on this one, shall we? Absolutely fantastic deal. Remember, you're sailing in and out of Southampton, so much luggage as you like. And of course, it's Royal Caribbean. Great one for all the family. Give us a call right now, 0808 2585 118, or go online, cruise118.com/TV, where you can actually book it live online. Well, do we have a final port, Karen?
Yes, we do, John. We're going to go to our final Norwegian port, and that is the capital, Oslo. Let's take a look. So Norway's capital is full of cultural attractions and world-class museums. There are many historically significant landmarks in the city, including the Royal Palace, the City Hall, where the Nobel Peace Prize is awarded each year, and the beautiful sprawling Vigeland Park, which is the largest single artist sculpture park in the whole world. Now, you can learn more about Nordic culture in the Viking Ship Museum. It has well-preserved ships, ancient tombs and Viking artifacts that date back to the Middle Ages. Now, the Hadeland Glassworks is in a picturesque village where you can shop for handcrafted souvenirs and even make your own honeypot. Or you can watch traditional glass blowing using the 250-year-old techniques. Now, cruising to Norway immerses you in the incredible Norwegian fjords, mountains and beautiful tiny towns, along with traditional and modern life where they meet together. Now, my tips for Oslo, one of my favourite things to do is visit the Akerhus Fortress, a regal medieval castle which is located right by where your ship docks. And in the summer, they have various reenactments and people dressed up with different types of costumes as people who would have lived there years ago. It's not far from the ship and it's free to go into, so even better. And Vigeland Park is worth a visit too. It's also free to go into. You can walk along to it or hop on one of the local trams to get there. So that's all of our ports, but why should people book with us?
Well, that's a good question. Let's have a look at why you should book with us. Well, first of all, we'll give you our best price guarantee at Cruise 118. Full details are on the website. We're the cruise experts. It's all we do. You're booking with confidence. You know, we're ABTA and ATOL bonded. And what I would say is go and have a look at our reviews. They're the things that people have said about us. Do you know, they've used us. And then, of course, remember, when you book with Cruise 118, you are booking with part of the world's largest cruise retailer. It's absolutely incredible. So they're just some of the reasons you should book with us. Really is.
And it's wonderful. So thank you for joining us today and learning a bit more about the beautiful Norway's fjords, the long deep fjords, the rugged mountains, the stunning waterfalls, scenery, traditions, history, modern cities, and everything it has to offer. So that's all we have time for now. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, carry on cruising.
Tack.